Good morning, everyone. Greetings from Computer Science and Engineering from Saintgits College of Engineering. I welcome you all for the AICT sponsored 6-day STTP sessions on blockchain applications. We are in the last day of our STTP blockchain application. Today, we have three eminent speakers. First sessions on live demonstrations on EOS blockchain by Mr. Nirdesh Kumar Chaudhary, and second sessions on blockchain communication by Mr. Chindan Osha, and the last session hyperledger demonstration by Mr. Pavan Adav. First, I find immense pleasures and great honor in introducing Mr. Nirdesh Kumar Chaudhary. He is currently working as a software blockchain developer in Innoplexus at Pune. He is an experienced software engineer skilled with Node.js, JavaScript, and various big data application like MongoDB and all other things. And his experience in blockchain technologies in with DApps development and smart contract writing on Ethereum and EOS. And strong engineers professional with an Bachelor of Technology, BET, he have completed, and he's bundled with quite numbers of certifications, like he is a certified blockchain architect, completed node developer course, and completed quite numbers of nptel mooc courses. We are really honored to have Mr. Nirdesh Chaudhary as a keynote speaker of AICT sponsor short-term training program. Now I am handling session to Mr. Nirdesh Chaudhary. The screen is all yours. Thank you.
Yeah, hello. Thank you for introducing me. And hi all. This is Nirdesh from this side, and I have worked on several projects on blockchain. And today I'm going to demonstrate all
Nirdesh,
of
sorry
you.
for the interruption. Your screen is not visible.
Okay, okay. Now I'm visible to all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so first of all, I will introduce all of you what is blockchain and some of its theoretical part, and then I gradually move to the application part where I had made a small project for you guys to illustrate how EOS work and how the key configuration and transactions are pushed on blockchain. And after that we will test that application on jungle testnet. So I have found a free server on Ukraine where I have hosted my last night project for you guys, so that you can check and have a feel of how blockchain servers are configured and work and see the transaction online, right? And the big thing is it's totally free, means neither I have to pay something, or neither you guys have to pay something to do something on blockchain. That's a free server. And if your application is quite well and you are confident enough, then you can push it on mainnet. So I will cover all these things: what is testnet, what is mainnet, and what is jungle testnet, and how you can deploy your smart contracts to free servers and then gradually move to the production server. So let's start with the theory part. And if anyone have any doubt in between while I speaking, so they can first ping on chat, and they can ask the question whenever they have doubts, because I leave my college in 2017, so it's I'm not good in theory, so so you can ask me any question any time. So and if the pace is fast, then you guys can also told me that you are going too fast, or so, then I can explain thing again for you, right? So okay. So first of all, I want to show you that some feel of how blockchain servers are work. So I'm sharing my screen. Uh, so what I have did it last night. I made an account on blockchain. So that is my account. That is free account, means that is on testnet, right? This is near this. TA निर्देश 543. So first thing is that you can make only alphabets smaller case and numbers 0 to 5 to the count, right? And then I have purchased 2% of RAM, then CPU, then net. But I will explain those things. Don't get panicked in the initial stage, because no one raises phone in the first corner. I have seen this statement in the last movie. I have seen The Art of Racing in the Rain. That's a good movie actually. So I purchase this much of EOS and allocate some RAM so that I can demonstrate you guys that how, because without RAM I cannot push transaction to blockchain, right? So I can show you a simple thing that so this is a message. This is user, this is message ID, sender ID, recipient ID, data and all. This is a simple transaction object that blockchain returned to me. And then I can also show you the my push transactions. So I can see over here, this is my transaction ID. So yeah, so this is a transaction, right? This is a transaction ID where we track our application, right? And executed invertible, and then it's a block number and time and all CPU uses, how much CPU is there, right? Traces you can see over here, ESIO, RAM, TA, right? So let's move to some theoretical part right now. So if you guys are interested in this session, so if you have reached so far, I think you guys know about blockchain. And so in simple term, so in my term I usually explain it because I have experience on developing application on NPCI as well. So there I used to talk with some expert and scientists and all, so they create their own DBs. So according to their definition, the blockchain is only a DB, means a database system that has some functions on the top of that database system. Means here is your DB, and then on the top of that your functions. Means a DB with functions and operations and distributed operating system. So these three things makes a blockchain. Nothing new in that, just an idea. But the architecture is combined with the previously known technologies like operating systems and database systems. And you heard the term about semaphores in OS. If some of you guys have chosen uh, operating system in your major, so you guys used to know so there's a uh, good amount of semaphores and distributed operating system in blockchain. So blockchain is not a new technology, means it is something that is innovative or something. It just a combination of existed system, right? So now let's move to EOS. So in EOS, so EOS is different from other blockchain in what context? So first of all, EOS is its smart contracts and its applications are built on C++ language, while Ethereum and other are built on their own language like Solidity and all. They have their own wallet configurations, right? So as you can see on my screen, there's a login. This is scatter, right? This part. This is scatter. This is Linux. Means this is specifically for EOS. You can push transactions of Ethereum as well, but this is specifically for EOS. So EOS is different from Ethereum in the context of their wallet management and their key configurations, right? And in their deployment as well. So the consensus algorithm of EOS. I hope all of you guys know about consensus, what a consensus algorithms are and how they work. I will not go into the deep because it will take a lot of time to cover all these things. So EOS consensus algorithm from Ethereum is different because it's a combination of a, uh, proof of work and some other stuff. Means it's not quietly DPoS or not quietly proof of work. So it's something between proof of work and with some other OS functionalities that they have added to their consensus algorithm. And yeah, so that's how EOS is different from Ethereum. And in other terms, yeah, their wallet management is also different because EOS, we have to we can make any number of account from a key, and there are two type of key: public key and private key. And yeah, so and one more thing where EOS is different from Ethereum is that in Ethereum there is a gas fee you have to pay for every transaction. Means if you are pushing a transaction to blockchain, so there is a certain amount. uh, as you can see here, I have CPU, right? I have this much of RAM, this much of CPU, and this much of net bandwidth. So let me show you something. Data, actions, all tokens. So this is a transaction. I made this transaction, jungle faucet to this. So faucet is this is not a different term. This is how this is jungle testnet, and faucet is like I if I put my name here. So there is a transaction. So I push a transaction to this account. This is my account. So this is transaction ID, right? And this is the time, thread, print, result, something. And this is a ESIO transfer from jungle faucet. This account called. I will also show this account to here to T. Yeah, this block, right? So this block is from jungle faucet to TN is this, right? Quality of 100 US. And this is hex data, means the hash of previous blocks, right? And started, executed, and all this information you can have here. ASIO token dot transfer is a function name, and ASIO is account, and actor is A, and active A. And I also actor is I okay. I will explain in this in the key part when I will understand you what is key and what is public key, private key, actor key, ABS actions, non-ABS actions, right? So just have a feel that how a transaction look like. So this is how this is a transaction. So this is a get block. This is a API. So every block that is produced is appear here, means that's the number of blocks being appeared, and here is you can find your own. So this is my block, and this will iterate upward and downward. You can see here how many blocks, how transactions are going on, right? And you can also see transactions. You can see transactions over here, right? You can see nodes, right? And then system, you can see system, right? So this is account info. So you can ask my name and then get history. So this is my account, right? So this is a working situation that I have shown all of you guys, means how things are work. So let's move. I think it's enough talking on theory and all, because practical is more important to understand something precisely also. And so let's move to the practical part. So what I have done is I have made this project. So in my contract directory, I have all these, right? So there is an inbuilt contract called address book. I modified that part and made some changes to it, configured my wallets, and yeah. So this is how it's look like. So first of all, I want you guys to know that there's a thing called KOST. KOST will run on this port. So I will let you know what is KOST. So KOST is a wallet management tool in EOS blockchain. So means as you guys knows that it's a distributed database system. Means all nodes are running on different platforms and all that. So how would you push a transaction? Means suppose I'm connected to my local machine, right? And I'm having these fabulous UI and all, means buttons and all, but these things are not blockchain, right? The core backend system are blockchain. So in order to interact with your blockchain part, so there is a tool called KSD. KSD is supported by EOS, and it's run on your local platform, right? You can see https localhost address 89. So wallets means if I have my wallets, so the basic funda is about wallets is I have my wallet, or I want to purchase something on some shop, like there's 100 shopkeeper out there. So what is that is I have, sorry, so what I'm saying is I have my wallet in my pocket. So consider my whole body as a local system. So and my local system has to interact with outer world, means it's a shopkeeper or whatever. So I have to interact with those people. So my wallet have to stick with me always, right? So that's how KOST is always run on localhost. Means, because if we lose our key, public key, private key, so that will be a compromise in our security and all, right? So that's how local wallets are run on local system. And node us, node us means you can see blocks are being generated over here. Means last night I run this for a testing application on locally, right? So first what we do is to run a similar blockchain node all on your local system. You can run a node us to. So this is how this is a node use command. It's run what can I say? It's run a localized blockchain on your system. Means you can as a that's I'm showing you, oh guys, what is that? So this kind of blockchain means this is a test net, right? This is running in Ukraine, and this is a node. This is also a node EOS that is run by some producer on servers, right? So, but first I want to develop thing locally. So how can we do that? So EOS software tools have provided node EOS so that we can test our applications on local machine, and I will show you the link what it is. So yeah, so this is the documentation part. You guys can uh, yeah, here I will paste the link, this link to chat. You guys can have a feel and understand what is EOS, and this is all. You can learn everything from here. Means running a KOST, running an node EOS, and running all these things. And if you have any doubt, so you can, after the session, if you have any doubt, you can feel free to connect with me. I'll also pick my ID in the group as well. Yeah. So so if you have any doubt, yeah. So we so we are on that part, this one part. So you can so start in KOST and ODS, right? That is starting a localized blockchain, right? So what I have done is that I so what I have done is I have made some bash script to deploy wallets and deploy KOST and deploy Node.js on my system as well as on server. So first of all, I will introduce you what is the project. So and then you guys can have idea what we are going to uh, build over here and understand the system. So this is an CPP file, right? So as you guys are know that these US smart contracts are built on some EOSI libraries and with C++ standards, right? And so this is only one CPP file. What you can do is you can have a separate SPP file where you can state the header files and some functions. You can put your function definitions over there, and then you can uh, have your complete functions in CPP file. So that's how you can manage your code well. So it's always better to manage your code well, and it's a good practice. But lack of time, I put everything inside this CPP file. So, but it's a small project. So what we have here is, so we have uh, so in this project is it's basically designed on chat on blockchain, right? So and first of all, this is only a backend application. So what I have done is, so I have designed a method that push some strings, called strings or called message in front end, right? So I built ABI action. So actions are of two types, ABI and non-ABI. So ABI actions are those that can cost you RAM on server. Means if you execute that particular function in the blockchain, so that will cost you RAM, right? And non-ABI actions are that will run that will not impact your DB, but that's our helper functions for you, right? So as you can see is so this upsert function. So this is a ESIO action, right? So EISIO action means that this is an ABI action. Means it will cost you RAM when this This particular function is execute on blockchain. So it will cost you RAM, it will cost you CPU, it will consume your net bandwidth that I have shown you, right? Here is so this thing is so that is update price, right? So let's see this transaction. So this is executed, right? Timestamp, producer, confirm, previous hash, transformation root, action m root, then version and all, signature, and this is a transaction body, right? This is, let me copy this to what is that? Right, so this is a JSON object. Let me put it over here. So this is a timestamp. So this is our main transactions part. So yeah, so this is ID, this is block number. So the main thing is this part. So let me open this part. This part is open. Status is executed. CPU uses. So this is a CPU uses means this particular function means this one. I think that's that have gone up to this. I don't. Yeah, yeah, that's gone up. So okay, we can find them in here as well. So this is uses this much of RAM means that's in bytes. It's 188 bytes, and net uses word, transaction ID, signature, compression, package content, package transaction. Then this is a transaction, right? Expiration A and action. So that's an action, and that's the name of action, right? So action contain that update price ABS action, and that actor is this funda F1, the funniest account people have, and permission is active. So that's how. So someone has executed this ABI action. This like my absurd here. So this guy's fund one, wow, whatever the name he has, also have this kind of action in this list. And when we execute this that transaction, that will push on the EOS blockchain, and then it will consume some CPU and some net bandwidth and then some RAM. So that's how it is. So I will explain everything on the continuation of my code because it will cover everything. Either I think if I go by theory and then practical and then move, so I think I can miss something. But if in this way we can go, we don't miss anything, right? So this is user, absurd user. So name. So name is not a C++ thing. So this is as you can see, this is a data type name UN64. This is a data type, and this is a parameter name, right? So name is a enum that is defined in ESIO library, and that enum is inside pointing to the uint unsigned 64-bit number. Okay, so that's a mapping inside the account name and account name and that unsigned 64-bit, that is handled inside the ESIO library, right? So for the sake of simplicity, they just name it as name, because account name is more associated to name than a number, and because as general public won't know about unsigned 64-bit numbers or so they generally map it to a name kind of thing, right? And then this is a simple ID, then this is a string, that's a C++ stuff, and this is so these are all parameters to this function, right? And this auth required. So what auth required is, so if I can run this function without that, right? I can do this like, but why I use this? So auth required means to execute a certain transaction on blockchain, it's required authentication. Authentication means authentication of account. So first of all, this is your smart contract, whole smart contract. So this smart contract is work as an interface of your account. Means suppose I'm deploying this smart contract with my account name. So the name of this smart contract address book will no longer be its name. Its name will be, it will be an interface of my account. Means I will call this thing a whole smart contract with my name. My name is my account name. I will show you test in something like so. This is how CLS push action nirdesh upsert. So nirdesh means this is how I push this transaction. 1 minute. Yeah. So CLS push action nirdesh upsert. Upsert means this is action, and this is the interface of my account, right? So nirdesh, and then I pass my account name nirdesh, then key, the sender ID, and minus p permission nirdesh active, right? So I can show you guys. So let's some more theoretical stuff. I am not interested in those things. So let's uh, push a transaction on blockchain. So I'm going to push this transaction on blockchain, just in order to show you guys that uh, give me 1 minute. So I will buy RAM in this. So CLS, I go to the terminal, Control Z V. So this is a CLS means a command line interface of Node.js, right? Once URL, if I use run it on my local, then I will not mention the server name, right? By RAM, this is my account that I have created, right? TN is this is a receiver account. Bytes means 200 KB means kilobytes. 200 kilobytes RAM I want to log it to myself, right? So let's see what happened. Oh, wallet locked. So there is an error. So something I haven't unlocked my wallet, right? So there is a function called locking and unlocking of wallets. So right now my wallets are locked. I cannot do anything on my machine. So what should I do? So first of all, I have to unlock my wallets. So I have written a script for that. Bash configuration.sh. The private keys of my wallets, and this is node and this all running node. I will show you the script. Don't worry. I will show you all things. I will show you the script as well. What are written inside those script. So now, so now wallet is locked. So now this action is executed, right, with this transaction ID, right? and this is a action. So from ESIO readme to ESIO quantity 121 EOS transfer to ESIO, right? So we can verify this transaction to this ledger here. Get transaction. So this is from your server's end. So we can verify our transaction. It will take some time because first of all they mine the transaction, and then they let go to this here transactions. Today is 8 October. Today is 9 October, right? So let's refresh this. So they sync off with their chain, and then they verify. First of all, they mine the transaction, they verify the block, then they add this transaction to the ledger, right? Yeah, so this is 10 October, right? By RAM, right? निर्देश to ESIO RAM. So ESIO RAM free means this is account ESIO RAM free. That's I run my local system, right? How much quantity of this much of quantity memo by RAM, right? So memo is a simple string that we pass to a transaction to memorize it, that we have push a transaction naming this string and all. So this is ESIO X, ESIO RAM free. So ESIO RAM free is this account ESIO RAM free, and 0.121 ESIO means that's the quantity of ESIO that they have I have one, right? So this is running on my local machine, and this is on server's end. So this is jungle testnet, so jungle book.io account, this one, right? So everything is synced with server, and everything is so this part is this is a transaction ID. I can see the whole transaction. So this is executed pending. And pending means irrevertibility. Irrevertibility. What is irrevertibility? Here is irrevertibility. I got 12 second. That in 12 second, 8 second or so. That's down to zero will sometime. So in between this time we can revert our transaction to means we can what I can say the producers can decline the transaction in that much of time. But now this is when this is added to the ledger, and this is irreversible, means this is now immutable entry, right? So no one can update this transaction now, right? So this is a transaction here. You can copy it back to this one, and this is the same transaction, right? This one and control V. So this one and this one is the same, right? Now this transaction that executed is now added to the ledger, right? Now let's move to our code, where we left our absurd function. We were talking on absurd function, right? So yeah, here we were here. So absurd function, and auth. We were on auth. So we were talking about auth. So yeah, address index, address, these are I think these terms are some zigzag like words for some of you guys, but if you read ESI documentation that I shared you on chat, so you can understand it well, and there will be a smooth learning process in this. You won't have any problem. But I will explain due to a lack of time, but I will try to explain all things that I can explain. But in order to understand something, you have to deboard the board, right? So address index, address self, first receiver. There is a task for you guys. You have to find this. What is this? And what is the meaning of this? If you haven't done, you can ask me, because this is a very important thing and simple thing, but important one, right? So there is a iterator. So address. So I have a table. That's let's first of all let define the table. So there's a table called person, right? This is a private. No one can see my table, can see its actions, its values, but no one can see the table. And let's table have field message ID, sender ID, recipient ID, created at this is the timestamp that is in the string, message type. Type means just another string, field means it's video content, audio content, and then text content, and then string, then data means whatever the content I have to send. That is how it is. And then primary key, I have made message ID to this primary key to this table, right? And then I mapped these two table multi-indexing on with persons only. And you can add secondary index here as well if you want to make any other key as key finding. There's also option of secondary index, right? But I don't think so there's a need of adding that secondary index. I can apply that as a secondary index of sender ID, but that's not a good idea because there may be a sender maybe multiple times sending a message to a single user, right? Or recipient maybe multiple, so they are not unique. Instead the message ID is unique, right? So um, instead of a sender ID you can make created at secondary ID, right? So that's how the table is defined. And now yeah, so this is what address person, right? So iterator on, then I find the message ID, right? And then I iterate to the end. Means if I found a user and then a row, then I put the entry over here. And if I modified an entry, means that entry is already there. So I use the modified function and then the iterator and then message ID, sender ID, recipient ID data, that this much of time. And so you guys are wondering that I'm using person here but using index here. So this is how I already defined address index here, and then I name this variable as addresses. It's a variable name, and then get self means this its own account authentication, and then first receiver and its value. So get first receiver dot value is a UN64-bit number, right? This is a name type, and then this is a 64-bit number. So this is how this method work. Observe something to this method. And this also I there's no need to do that. I also made a function called erase, but there shouldn't be a method like erase in the blockchain. but it don't erase something. It just suppose something is written on a string, then I call erase function. So then erase function, what it will do is this erase function will modify this already existing string but write it in other space. This first one is immutable, that's for sure. It added another entry and that is pointed to the another entry, but the previous record will be there always, right? So let's call this upshirt function. So my KOST is running on that test.sh. So right, so I will call my upshirt function that will point to this server, right, where I have deployed my contract. And Nirdesh T upsert here, and then Nirdesh T, then this one, and the recipient 123. This message is only by the famous name, so let me change this. Demo string message, and then this is my account. This is active. Active means uh okay, let's handle it on key wala part, and then that's it. Then I will hit this. Let's see what will happen. It will take some time. Yeah, so this is executed. So warning means transaction is executed locally but may not be confirmed by the network yet. The part that I shown you on the net is uh, this part, that is so this part that will appear here means a certain time. Okay, let's see that. Let's see that transaction ID, and we'll see that transaction ID is executed transaction. So this is transaction ID. So we'll copy that and we'll see here, and we can refresh that as well if we don't want to see. So the action will appear over here in the table, means it will active, right? So it will take some time. Let me put here my transaction. Yeah, so this is a transaction, right? So it will so executed locally means it is executed locally, but it's pending for permission, right? Means irreversibility. So what is that? Is Nirdesh T sender recipient demo string message, right? This is a demo string message that I have passed to data. Here is that. That is here. Pass to data means demo string, right? That is here. So that action is now pushed to the server, and this is active permission, right? So this is how transactions are executed on blockchain, and so this is API integration with these, or let me show you. So console, right? Uh, Switch to API HTTPS jungle. Let me call you jungle heroes. So this is a jungle testnet, and jungle API. So in what I want to show you, that is, I want to tell you that this is a front end part, right? This whole thing is a front end part. They integrate the APIs behind the scene, and like I use my local, I just getting their server from my local machine, and that how it is. You can call it, and you can also integrate if you want to, yeah, because a real-time server don't run on command line. This is just for testing point of view. So there is a tool called EOS. Show you this npm package EOS node fetch. So that package is used to push transactions using JSON using your JavaScript code. So this is how this is the library that is EOS, right? So I'm copying these to so JavaScript library. Okay. So till now, does anyone has any doubt in something? Uh, they can ask questions if they have till now. If they have any doubt, means how transactions are pushed on blockchain, what is account, what is key, and all that. I will explain key part in the next few minutes. So, any questions from your side, guys? Uh, yeah. Okay. So let's move to the key part. So I'm speaking. I think from more than 1 hour. So yeah. So till now, what we have understood is that what is account and how the transactions are pushed on blockchain and how we can verify our transactions, how accounts are made, what things are related to account, just like RAM, CPU uses, net bandwidth, right? And I think I think I didn't miss anything, right? Uh, yeah, everything is good. So now the key part is remaining. The wallet part is remaining, and yeah. So let's start with the key part. So first of all, there are two options in the key in EOS. So there are two type of key: public key and private key, right? So public key means anyone can have my public key and can see my account, uh, how much of EOS I have, what's my account name, account info, net bandwidth, CP uses, right? So anyone can see that. Anyone can see my table, uh, my table data as well, because that's the first principle of EOS blockchain. That is transparency, right? Means everything is visible to everyone. Okay, let me show you one thing, the key wala part. So I'm saying that everyone can see my actions and my tables on servers on actions I have put on. So let's do that. So get table people, right? So there's a table called people, right? So you can see table called people, but the name is person, and you guys didn't ask me a doubt about that, right? How is possible? The name is person, the primary key is index, then so this part is people, right? So I indexed with that key part with people. I defined it as person and using it as a address index, but the actual name is that I will use it on my Chinese people, right? So I have pushed a transaction on blockchain. So I will retrieve its entry now, right? So let's retrieve that entry. I will use my command line argument. Okay? So everything is executed, and then I will control G. This is URL get table. This is my account. And this is my interface of my account, and this is a name, right? And then this is, yeah, okay. So there are entries in my table. Receiver one, this one is sender receiver, this one is so, this one is so. So everything is inside this table that I have put on, right? So that's, so you guys can also ping this command url get table e, everyone can see that, right? So this is called private public key functions, means anyone can see my actions, and anyone can see my tables, and anyone can see my account, my net bandwidth. So these are public functions, but and no one can update my table, no one can write into my table. That's a private part. I will show you. That's how I declared here as private. Means if I declared here as public, then this will be public. Everyone can write it into this table, everyone can read from this table, right? So that's how you can handle all these things. So I think that's all with contract part and all this. So let's move with key part right now. So key part is I have made some keys. So this is my configuration script, right? So where did I got those keys? Let's find out. So here is a jungle testnet. Here is jungle testnet. Here is jungle testnet. So there are two ways to generate keys, right? And those keys will be unique whether you generate it on your local system or whether you generate it on servers, because there is a specific function inside the CLEOS library that generates key, right? And that is integrated with some timestamp, some real-time systems, right? So I generated those keys into my local, but they are working fine, on my server as well, right? So you can create keys here as well. Create key, right? So as I put create key, they created public key and private key, right? I again click here, right? Then they created two keys for me. So this is a front end part. If I want to have a feel that how can I create keys, so what you have to do is you have to create key and paste in your script. And this is a EOS key, means that that key is owned by this account, because there is also a account of ESIO, means EOS has its own account that have all the RAMs, all the CPU, and all the things, and it's allocate things from its account to others account, right? That's the ESIO account, right? That is created 2 years ago, right? So this is a EOS account. Everything is inside it: RAM, CPU, net memory. Because this is a uh, source account, it will allocate everything from its account to other accounts, right? So those keys are associated to this account. You can see over here. if they expose this loading actions, uh, contracts. My net is slow, I think. It's not opening. Okay, yeah, it's open. It's open. So this is the account. You can see this transaction over here. Yeah. So this transaction is here. So this is ESI token, right? ESI we pay to blockchain. Active ESIO pay means these transactions are happening on the behalf of this account, right? ESIO, right? This is a source account, right? So what I want here we are here. So these are ESIO own keys. I put those into my script and I made three wallets: TN Nirdesh, Akash, Rahul Malu, right? So there are three wallets I have written. These are the paths of my wallets, contracts, set contracts, right? And then this is a bash script. Then I private key, then I import those key into this account. Then I also import those keys into this account because this ESIO key, and then this key, then this key. I created two pairs of key for each account. Means for the security, there is you can import any number of keys into your account, right? So I generally people do is they generate two pair of keys. One is public, other is private, and same is other. So one pair is called owner and one is called active. So the difference between owner and active is that owner is a father of active. Means if you lost your active key, you can change your active key using the your owner key, right? So this is another stuff, security stuff. Uh, but let's focus on contract things. So this is how I can. So these wallets are on my system, so I can show you configuration.sh address book wallet.txt vim wallet.txt. So these are my password, right? So they are written down here. To this, and they are maintained by local. LSCD downloads. I don't think we are put. Yeah, CD EOS IO. Right. So there is Akash wallet. There is default wallet KSS Nirdesh, Rahul Malu, TA Nirdesh. Right. So these and wallets are locked. Right. So here they maintain their wallet ESIO wallet directory. This directory is automatically generated by uh, ESIO CLS command that you will run on your system, and they will automatically generate these folders. And when you run your wallets and your scripts on that, so you will see that your wallets will be linked over here. So no one can see the stuff inside that. Let's see. Let's try to CD Rahul Malu and something. So Rahul dot wallet, right? So I cannot open that, or I cannot even vim that. So whatever I want to do, I cannot open this file, right? Because they are locked and they can only be opened with this configuration file and this when this wallet file is unlocked, then you can only read these things, your keys, right, when you put your password, right, and your password is, that's why I show you that are stored in this file wallet.txt, irrevertible, right, create wallets, Rahul Malu. So these all are commands you can find here in yeah, check wallets. You can check your Silas wallet list. You can check your wallets, right? Let me show you that wallet list wala part. See contracts, CD, address. So that's EOS. So it's important to run KOSD if you want to see your wallets in your system. So that it's running, right? Then I move to other window and I see is see, right. So these are wallets. Rahul Malu, right? So these are active wallets on my system, right? So these are how I am able to run these commands because I run KOST on my system, right? If I uh, let's right, it's now close, and then I will try to do that. It, they will log in sometime, and I can also unlock them, but it's not a good practice to log your wallet. CD Wait, yes. CD CD is a wallet. So so Akash wallet, Rahul Malu wallet, TNADS wallet, right? So these all wallets are seen to uh, you're able to see those wallets in where are these here, right? So these wallets are locked now, right? So if these wallets are unlocked, so there's a thing called star here, means Akash. It will be like that, Akash, then a star, right? So it will be like that, right? So you can learn more on these wallets. If we don't have any wallets, we will get a simple empty array over here, and the nodes endpoint. Then you can see create account, that I have already told you how you can create an account. You can create an account using a public key, a private key, but for creating your account you have to pass your private key, and then someone has account on existing blockchain, then he can create your account on the behalf of EUSI, right? So I think from my end, that's how it is, and that how blockchain is work. And if I will understand the explain those things, it will be take a lot of time. And I hope I told you guys everything about how blockchain works, how smart contract works, how you can verify your contract, how you can deploy your contract to free servers, and take a advantage of free learning and all these things. And you can also connect to me on ESIO Stack Exchange in case of any doubt also. And yeah, please feel free to discuss anything. And in India, what we have is that's of we guys only. I think we guys only have. Uh, what can I say? It's if it's not a political statement. In India, we have people have knowledge, but they don't have resources, right? So if you able to get some free resources for learning, so that will be good for Indian point of view. If you are Indian, you have to face a lot of difficulties to learn things. Like you guys can understand. And yeah, So these are tutorials, protocol, manuals, API preferences. So I already shared these link to the, I think I have told you everything about EOS and all. So because I think the advice from my side is that you should start reading documentation and start writing codes like I did, and I also share my Git repository. You can have my Git access, not Git access, but you can pull down the code from my repository and you can play around with that. I let me signing. We have open and yeah, thank God. I've been several failed. Oh, sorry guys. I think I forgot my account. Uh, yeah, but I will share those Git repositories later, and you guys can play around those things, right? So yeah, I think this is okay. Okay. So if you guys have any doubt regarding the session and all, you can ask question. Means, any question. Means it may be theoretical or maybe political. You can ask any question.
Thank you, Nirdesh Kumar, for your wonderful session. It was really informative. Audience, anyone have any queries? Anyone have any queries? Please.
Yeah, please feel free to ask any query. Don't be shy. Raising your hand is the first step to learning.
So, Nirdesh, no one gave the questions. Okay, so
Yeah, yes. I want to say something to students because I have been there in Trivandrum for 1 year in JNV Trivandrum. So the people are awesome and they are good, but they are little shy to interact. Yeah, they are good people. Uh,
yeah, the one question was there, Nirdesh.
okay.
Which website we can get Node.js programs and smart contract?
Sorry.
Which website we can get Node.js program and smart contract?
Okay, okay. From which website we can get? Yeah, know this program and smart contracts. So the link I have shared here above, STTPS ESIO welcome. This one. Let me share the link. So you can get inbuilt contracts for contracts. You can go here, right? And for Node.js integration of EO S wallets and action. You can download the library from here. This one. I think I already shared this, but let's be more precisely uh, ask. Yeah. So for this one, the best practice to learn everything is to go to the developer portals, learn things from there, because they are the core knowledge of their scientists. So you can learn better and understand your own pace, and then for integration your wallet, just like Node or something, you can go to the Node.js part. That is the EOS library available to npm, and you can install this library using npm package, and that's quite simple. That's not very hard to do, right? And yeah, that's how it is.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Yeah,
I have
hello.
one simple question, sir. Is
Yeah.
DRP is easier for the person who those who are not that much familiar with programming and all? We can't say everyone is familiar with the JavaScript and other programming languages. Uh, is it
Uh,
is it comfortable for those persons? Those
uh, yeah, if you don't have any knowledge of JavaScript, so I think you can learn those things, because I myself not a JavaScript person. I am a C++ developer, but whenever I require JavaScript or so, I install those libraries and integrate those libraries with my C++ code, and that's quite simple. JavaScript is not a hard language to learn. There's a simple language, I think, and you can learn that. And do you know C or C++?
yes,
Hello?
yes, yes. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, that's great. That's great. That's enough now. C and C++, if you know, then you know everything, right? You can learn any language, you can learn any platform, learn any framework. That's enough, I think. And yeah, you can do that. It's easy. Don't be afraid. And it's not a mountain you have to carry. It's just a simple stone.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. There was another query, Nirdesh. The query is like suggest a platform best suited for someone is new to the blockchain. The people are new to the blockchain.
Okay.
Which one will be like which platform will be best suited for them?
Platform means.
Like the learning and for implementation both.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So I think I already shared the link. Jungle Testnet. Uh, I will again share the link. That's a free learning platform. You can go here and click on this link and see your accounts, and you create your keys over here, right? So it will provide you a free interface like a mainnet, right? It's a testing process. You can, if you are a student, you can learn anything over here free of cost, and they won't charge you anything. But if you go to the main servers that provide blockchain implementations, so as in my case, last project we are costing $10,000 per month, right? So that's a different. So for a student point of view, jungle testnet is the best thing to learn and deploy your contracts, learn over there, and that will be good for you. There is another question. Using C and C++, we can develop only standalone application, not web-based application. It is correct. Yeah, it is correct. Who is so Lakshmi Pati? Yeah, yeah. So, but as I demonstrate my project to you, That is your question is right. You can develop backend process using C and C++ and deploy your contracts. But if you want to test your contracts, you can use command line interface like I did. I push transactions using my terminal like here. Where it is. Yeah, like I did, I push transactions over here, right? So you can test your applications, and then you can learn front end and try to understand how to integrate your backend that you have developed in Node.js and blockchain, and how the front end guys can integrate your actions to their project. That's a simple HTML and CSS things. I also don't know much about front end and all this styling stuff, but yeah, you can learn that and develop those things in JavaScript, or there are framework like React.js, Vue.js, and build a front end on those platforms, and then you can easily integrate your inbuilt blockchain and Node.js application to with those front ends, right? So yeah, you have to learn front end as well if you want to be a full stack developer. But if you want to stay on the backend side, so that C++ and blockchain is enough for you, because the project is always done in a team, right? There are some front end guys, there are some backend guys, there are some blockchain guys, and right. So if you want to sit on the backend and blockchain side, that's enough. And if you want to sit on the front end side, then you have to learn React.js and Vue.js, right? So that's how it is.
There is another question. In Fabric, I need to develop application.
Yeah.
What are the tool I should install in my system?
Okay. So first of all, Fabric is I'm not scaring you because I have worked this project with NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India. So we are five guys over there, so computer developers, and there's an NPCI team. So yeah, it's difficult to install Fabric. You can feel me. But if you go to the website of Fabric, I think Hyperledger Fabric right now we were writing codes back then in Go language, right? So Hyperledger Fabric, I think first before that we are using Composer. My advice to you is don't use Composer. If you find something that please install Composer and all this. The Composer is outdated and it's not worthy to learn, I think. So instead of Composer, use fast Fabric for Hyperledger, and use Go language to develop your smart contracts. And for installing Hyperledger Fabric, so there is a whole lot of stuff you can get, I think, in the official site. You have to follow that. And for system applications, I can suggest you should at least have more than 8 or 8 GB of RAM, and because that will be good for you, because in Fabric there are many databases like CouchDB. You have to run CouchDB and other stuffs. There are other DBs as well that store your keys, right? And there's another folder where your smart contracts it sit, and your peers and seeders and all these things. So it required a high configuration system, and if you want to save your time, so please have a system first of all that have more 8 or 8 GB RAM, right? So and then you can start learning Hyperledger. We can install all the things that are defined on their official site. And again, don't use Composer. Don't use. So yeah. For developing educational system, which platform will be better? Educational system means
Like many were the faculties, like in this particular STTP, many were the faculties. So I guess in the faculty perspective, like
okay.
for student demonstration, I guess, like how they can.
Yeah. So for I think So all people are educated and all know computer stuff. So you don't need to learn fancy stuff like React.js, Vue.js, mean the fancy front end stuff, right? So you can, what you can simply learn is, you can simply learn DB, means you can learn MongoDB. That is simplest DB known to people right now. You can learn MongoDB, and you can develop your backend in simple Python or simple Node.js, and then in front end use simple HTML and CSS. No, don't use React.js or use some fancy stuff or like that. So yeah, so educational stuff, you can save your time by not learning React.js and Vue.js. But if you want to learn those things, that good. That will be fancy, so-called uh, uh, spark. What should I say? Means a beautiful thing to see in front end. So yeah,
Thank you. And we got a feedback like everyone, the session was very informative and good session. Thank you, Nitish. Probably this is
yeah.
the weekend. You had a lot of, like you would have had many works, but you would have spent 1.5 hour for me. That is, thank you so much. It was a really informative session. Thank you. And
Thank you. Yeah,
thank you. And the next sessions will be at 11:30. So till that you can take a rest. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
okay. Bye bye.
Bye.